What is going on? Trading Experts fam. Um, if you're watching this, most likely you are on the Trading Psychology program. Before I even start, I just want to give you a nice little round of applause because you've made it this far. You know, you've gone through the basics of getting started to what's next. You've converted yourself from probably a dumb money trader to semi-smart. You've then leveled up and started learning how to form game plans and finding your A-plus setup. You've learned how to read charts, certain patterns, what to avoid, what to go for, and now we are at Trading Psychology. The last program before getting into AlphaChat, trading with the big dogs in real time. And the reason we keep this Trading Psychology program for last is because, let's put it this way, I mean, if you don't have your trading psychology and what's going on inside of your head down, if you don't have it down, you might as well throw everything else you've learned into the trash. And I really mean that. You can read all the books you want on technical analysis, you can study charts all day long, but if you don't have what's going on in here locked down, if things aren't set the right way, you're going to lose. Maybe not right away, but eventually you will. So this video is all about trading psychology, and I really hope you enjoyed. I mean, this is my first video ever. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. So, of course, smash the like and let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to hear in the next videos. And let's get it started. So, like I said, we're going to talk about trading psychology today. Couple things you're going to learn in here. We're going to talk about capital. We're going to talk about why the market owes you nada. We're going to talk about the typical trader, why taking losses is painful, and the best traders. So first, we're going to talk about capital. And of course, the first thing you think of when people bring up capital and trading, you're just thinking about money, right? You're thinking about the Benjamins. You're thinking about making that cash moolah, thousands of dollars in your pajamas, capital. But in this program, we're going to talk about your mental capital. And the mental capital is way more important, like I said, than the physical capital. Mental capital is your brain power. It's how you think, what you do when you take a huge loss, when you realize you made a mistake. Because that's what trading is. I mean, whether you're an expert or you just started, you're going to make mistakes. And the reaction is what's more important than actually losing the money, because a good trader like Sheikh or Ben, they'll lose money on something, they will look at it analytically and figure out what was wrong and then do better the next time, when a bad trader will lose money, freak out about it, not only lose money on that trade but then miss out on another good trade. And we'll go a little further into that on the next slide. The market owes you nothing. Nothing. The market owes you nothing. Say it with me. The market owes me nothing. You are me, right? The market owes you, me, nothing. Here's a list of people that want to take your money in the markets. You got the big funds, you got the pro traders, you got the high frequency traders, and you got literally everybody. Everybody in the market is trying to take your money. The market is a zero-sum game. What does that mean? It means that when one person wins, another person loses. That's how it works. When you're long a certain stock, somebody else is short. So when you're winning, that person lost. When you lose, somebody else won. Very simple. On to the next. The typical trader. And this is what everybody goes through in the beginning. I was this person. I'm sure Ben and Sheikh were these people. You were probably this person. You might still be. So the typical trader is extremely emotional with every trade, right? They have tons of thoughts running through their minds while they're trading or before they're trading, their buys or sells. They're just kind of freaking out. And they use a lot of emotion when it comes to this. Maybe they're breaking keyboards. Maybe they're slamming desks. Maybe they go home to their significant other and they're yelling at them. And there's also the positive side where you're super emotional too. Maybe you just made a great trade and you're celebrating super hard, or everything's great, and maybe you go out that night to party and celebrate and drink and you don't feel too great the next day. That's using too much emotion when it comes to trading. The typical trader also complains and blames everything but themselves. You'll hear them say things like, oh, the market's not fair, or oh, Donald Trump said this, and oh, I can't believe they came out with this news, it's not fair, the market is just constantly scamming me. And again, these are all things that I've said. Don't really say them anymore because I understand what the whole deal is, and I understand that, like I said earlier, the market owes you nothing, so there's no reason to blame the market. The only thing you can blame is yourself, because you're the only thing that you can control. Another thing the typical trader wants is they want the results without the work, and I see this all the time. I see people joining the Getting Started chats, and they're just talking to me about how they want to quit their jobs and make a ton of money trading, and I'm like, okay, have you even put on trade yet? And they're like, no, not yet. I'm like, okay, so let's slow it down and let's put in the work. I mean, think about anybody who's good at whatever they do. They didn't just get there because they wanted the results. They got there because they did the work. You look at any pro athlete, any great lawyer, any great doctor, they put in years of work and sacrifices to get to where they are. Trading is no different. I promise you, trading is no different. And now we're going to move on to why taking losses is painful, right? I mean, I still remember my first loss ever. It was on SAEX, which was a penny stock, on margin, just trading off of some dude on the internet, his advice. I saw the stock just skyrocketing. I'm like, all right, well, this is just going to keep going. So I bought a bunch of it, too much of it, all of it. And it went up for a little bit. I got greedy. I held on. And then it ended up dumping in like minutes. This all happened in minutes. I mean, for me, it felt like hours, but it happened in minutes. And it was just going down, 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 down. Of course, I'm like, oh, well, it's going to come back up. I mean, if it went that high before, it can do it again in a few minutes. Nope, just kept going lower. I got a margin call, and I had to liquidate. And then I was sitting there looking at my account with $0 in it. At the time, it wasn't a huge account. It was $2,000. But it hurt. It hurt a fucking lot. And it made me stop trading for a year. I was in so much pain from that, and I was just so scared that it was going to happen again that I just didn't want to trade anymore. So that's where this equation, pain equals fear, which equals trading mistakes. You take a big loss, it hurts. You get scared that you don't want it to happen again. Or you do certain things where, you lose more money than you should, and it sucks. But that's, again, where the mental capital comes in and fighting through it. That doesn't mean just continuously making dumb mistakes. The point is to make a mistake, learn from it, and improve. If you're just making the same mistakes over and over again, then you need to chill out and we can figure something out. But, don't keep giving your money away to the market. The way that you want to work is you want to work with a clear head plus educated decisions, and that'll bring you to success. You don't want to bring a lot of emotion into your trading. Emotions are normal. Every human has emotions, but you have to know how to control them. You can't control the market. It's impossible, but you can control how you react to what happens in the market. Controlling your emotions when you get a big win or when you get a big loss. You can start to see patterns in your thought process, things that are going on in your head, which I always tell alpha members, write this stuff down. Write the first thing that comes into your head when you take a trade. And over time, when you gather that data, you start to see patterns. You start to see like, okay, when I think this, I do well in the trade. When I think this, I don't do so good in the trade. And then you can work off of that. That helps you build conviction in your trading. That'll help you know when to size up in your trades and when to maybe cut it down a little bit. Now, when it comes to the best traders, they almost act like my friend over here in the screen. They're robots. They really take that emotion to a low level. And like I said earlier, when they win or when they lose, you really have no idea whether they lost everything or if they just doubled their account. It's not going to happen, but you know what I mean. You have to really put your emotions to the side and focus on what's right in front of you. You can't go crazy on a win or a loss. And you have to be completely detached from the money and the trade, which is hard because this is your hard-earned money that you're putting into an account to try to grow. But you really almost have to look at it like once it's in that account, you have to look at it as it's just a piece of the puzzle for this game that you're playing. So the best traders, they just follow their game plan and they react accordingly. They stay consistent. And when they lose, they don't complain about it. They look at it, they figure out what went wrong, and then they say on to the next. Simple as that. Obviously, it's easy to say, it's not as easy to do. And this comes with experience, it comes with time. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a pro at this at all. I'm not even close to where I want to be, but I know for a fact that I'm on the right path, and that's what's important. You have to really believe in yourself before you can become a good trader or good at anything for that matter. I've been reading this awesome book. It's called Mindset Secrets for Winning by Mark Minervini, aka Voldemort. And it really talks a lot about how if your mind isn't already in the state of being a successful trader or whatever you want to be, a pro athlete or a champion of any sorts, if your mind isn't there already, your body can't physically be there, right? Because your mind has to think it's possible before you can do it. A great example that they talk about in the book is Muhammad Ali. I mean, the guy would look in the mirror and say, I'm the greatest of all time. And this was before he won anything. But he just kept saying it to himself. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. And eventually he became the greatest of all time. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just say things in the mirror and all of a sudden they'll appear in 5 years. You have to actually put in the work. But your mind has to work it too. Your brain is a muscle just like any other one. So you have to work your brain to be in the right condition, in the right shape, to be a great trader. So when you're out there trading, whether it's with Alpha or without us, you have to focus on these things. You have to focus on what your mind is thinking about when you're taking your trades and when you're getting out of them, and try to just not be too emotional about it. And if you start to be emotional about it, just try to catch yourself. Be like, hey, don't do that. Heaven said don't do that. So just kind of take a breather, relax, and go through it again. Oh, another thing that I actually want to bring up is if you're having a bad day, like before the market opens, maybe you had a bad night, you don't have to trade that day. That's the beauty of what we do, and you really have to take advantage of that and appreciate it, is that there's nobody pointing a gun to your head telling you that you need to trade today. You need to make money today. Nobody's there to do that. So if you're having a bad day, take the day off. You're allowed to do that. The market will be there the next day. Sure, maybe you'll miss a good trade. Maybe you'll miss a bad trade. If you're in a bad mood, most likely you're going to trade poorly. So be in the right mental state. Maybe pick up meditating. I never thought I would meditate ever in my life. I used to hate it. I thought it was so stupid. I was like, why am I sitting around here? I'm supposed to not think about things and just sit here and some dude's going to rub fragrances on my face? This is weird. I don't want to do this. I meditate now. No fragrances. I just do it from home. But yeah, I meditate every morning. I try to just clear my mind. I put myself in the right state, and it really helps. It's helped. I can see it in my P&L, and I can just see it in my day-to-day activities. Just try it, and it's not supposed to work the first time. Like anything else, you don't go in the gym and get jacked the first day. So meditate daily. Try it for a full month. Do it for 30 full days. See what happens. Maybe you don't like it. Fine. Find something that puts you in the zone before the trading day. I think that's about all I got for this video. But what I would really appreciate from you guys is let me know what you would want to hear about. I'm not a YouTube expert. So I'm here to listen to you guys. I want to help, and I want to give my perspective and my point of view on things. I don't have 10 years of experience like Ben and Shake do, but I am at a point where I've had some experience, and I know certain things just from my own testing and trying things, and I've helped a ton of people already. People have messaged me telling me that I've really changed their views on trading and their methods, and that feels really great, and I just want to be able to help more people. So I'm kind of branching out into doing video content, something that I've always wanted to do, but I've always been kind of scared to do it. It's just not really my thing. But life is about doing the things that make you uncomfortable. So here I am. Like I said earlier, give me a little thumbs up. Smash that like button, and let me know what you want to hear from me. Okay? Thanks so much for watching my video, and I hope to make some more soon.